this going to be a major part of Avengers?
We are not going to survive.
Oh, nobody ever answers. I don't even know why I asked anymore.
The Avengers actors destroyed Disney and walked off with a $120 million power deal from Amazon. Yep, Jeremy Renner, Chris Evans, and Elizabeth Olsen flipped the script, slammed the door, and took total creative control with them. This wasn't a quiet exit. This was a billion-dollar rebellion that just shook Hollywood to its core.
Knowing everybody, I feel like our own interpersonal or personal relationships start to echo through, and then what you see, the authenticity of, Iron Man.
The Avengers walk away from Disney, and this time, they burned the whole empire down on their way out. And this time, it's brutal. Jeremy Renner, Elizabeth Olsen, and Chris Evans didn't ghost a press tour or skip a movie premiere. They launched an open rebellion. This wasn't a tantrum. This was war, a calculated, coordinated takedown of the most powerful studio in the world. The mouse never saw it coming. And people weren't just watching this unfold. They were choosing sides, fast. The public started backing the stars who had been silenced for years. Because the truth? Marvel's brightest names weren't just wearing capes. Behind the scenes, they were being caged.
I mean, there's something, I don't know what they're threatening you guys.
For years, these actors were locked into contracts with hidden gag rules, clauses so strict they couldn't criticize the studio, the scripts, or the direction of their own characters. Say the wrong thing? You could kiss your bonus goodbye, or your next role, or both. Disney built a billion-dollar machine on control. It wasn't just about what you said in interviews. It was what you couldn't say, what you couldn't ask for. Marvel's actors weren't just employees. They were assets, controlled, squeezed, silenced.
They were too scared to say they were going to be in the movie.
And this blueprint, it wasn't new. Disney had been perfecting it since the early 2000s, with kids. Let's talk Demi Lovato, locked in hotel rooms, monitored, vomiting blood, denied help, forced to smile for the cameras. Bella Thorne took a Disney job just to save her family from homelessness and ended up having her life micromanaged like a puppet on a brand leash. Raven Simonet pressured into surgeries before she was even legal because her appearance didn't fit the image Disney wanted. This wasn't just bad luck. It was a system, a polished, family-friendly control machine that started with teens and evolved into something far more sinister by the time it hit the Marvel Universe. Then came the breaking point. New Year's Day, 2023. Jeremy Renner nearly dies. A 14,000-pound snowplow crushes him. Over 30 bones shattered, months in recovery, body full of titanium. Fans rallied, co-stars reached out. Disney? A cold, one-line statement. No flowers, no calls, no human decency.
They asked me to do a season 2, and they offered me half the money.
Then, months later, when Renner was finally able to talk future projects, Disney offered him half his salary for double the workload. No loyalty, no respect. Just a brutal reminder that even an original Avenger is disposable in Disney's eyes.
Why? Did you think I'm only half the Jeremy because I got ran over?
Renner didn't sugarcoat it. Why did you think I'm only half the Jeremy? Because I got ran over? Go fly a kite. That line went viral. But behind that mic drop moment, something bigger was brewing. Late-night phone calls. Not "Hey, how are you?" calls. Strategy calls. Chris Evans was done. Marvel had squeezed the life out of Captain America, turned him into a prop. Scarlett Johansson? She'd already gone to war with Disney in court and came back with battle scars. Elizabeth Olsen? Emotionally wrecked by years of playing Scarlet Witch in endless trauma loops. No creative input, no peace of mind. And the stories matched. Every single one of them.
Maybe that's why you want to pay me half?
Lowball contracts, broken promises, characters twisted without their say, executives grinning for photos, gutting contracts behind closed doors. And suddenly, they realized this wasn't personal. This was structural. That's when Amazon made their move. And they didn't come quietly. They came with purpose, precision, and the one thing Disney had never truly offered: trust. Not just in the actor's star power, but in their experience, their creative instincts, their years of carrying billion-dollar franchises on their backs. Amazon didn't see Jeremy Renner, Chris Evans, and Elizabeth Olsen as just talent to be managed. They saw them as partners. So they offered a deal that turned heads across the industry. A $120 million commitment, full executive producer credits, ownership of their work, and most importantly, complete creative freedom. No top-down micromanagement, no sanitized scripts approved by faceless studio executives, no corporate rewrites designed to sell merchandise, just full control placed directly into the hands of the people who had already proven they could build global phenomena.
And it's pretty harrowing to take the time to really consider somebody else's perspective.
And the best part? A clause that detonated the whole studio playbook, the Echo Mandate. No more silence contracts, no more forced PR smiles, no more corporate punishment for speaking your truth. You could criticize, you could take control, you could breathe. It wasn't just a deal, it was a revolution. This wasn't about hiring actors. This was about empowering storytellers. Amazon handed them the pen, the camera, the final cut, and said, "We trust you to build something real." It was everything Disney had refused to offer, hidden behind years of legal control and PR gloss. While Disney clung to control, Amazon handed over the reins. No mouse ears, no chains, no creative muzzle, just a clean slate and a giant green light. In a world where studios love to talk about collaboration while holding all the power, Amazon did the unthinkable. They stepped back and let the Avengers lead.
It's not a good place. Disney has been putting out slop after slop, and it's reached a breaking point with fans.
And Disney is completely caught off guard, scrambling. They threw emergency bonuses at actors like Candy, quietly tried to cancel silence clauses, called up old stars begging for one last project. But it was too late, because what happened next cracked the foundation of the empire. On midnight, December 31st, 2023, while the world counted down the seconds to 2024, Disney's legal team was staring down a ticking time bomb. Because at that moment, the gag orders expired. Poof, gone. 10 years of silence, lifted in 1 second. Freedom Day had arrived, and Elizabeth Olsen didn't waste time. She sent a letter straight to Disney's top brass. "I gave you my face, my time, my trust. I'm keeping my voice." Those words hit harder than any special effect they ever gave her. Marvel HQ went into meltdown. Internal meetings, emergency memos, legal teams scrambling like rats on a sinking ship. And then came the next hit. A leaked Google Drive link, quietly passed around in industry circles. No password, no NDA, just a file name that said, Phase 5, what comes after the mouse? Inside, chaos.
Scarlett Johansson, the star of the Marvel superhero film Black Widow, is suing the Walt Disney Company over its simultaneous release of the movie in cinemas and on its streaming service.
Scarlett Johansson co-developing a savage satire called Prototype, a direct swipe at Disney's habit of exploiting female-led franchises before ghosting the women who built them. Chris Evans, directing a major ensemble film quietly stacked with former Marvel alumni. Elizabeth Olsen, teasing a Marvel alumni reunion series. No trauma, no studio interference, just actors taking back control of their own stories. And then the numbers hit, and they hit hard. Disney dropped its latest Marvel trailer and crickets. Barely scraped together 10 million views. Meanwhile, Amazon's teaser? It blew past 50 million like it was nothing. The message was loud and clear. The fans weren't just paying attention. They were choosing sides. And Disney wasn't on the winning end. Social media turned into a war zone. Hashtags like #Echo Mandate and #Mouse Exodus were everywhere. TikTok lit up with savage parody skits mocking Disney's desperate PR moves. Reddit was a full-on rebellion thread. Leaks, rants, receipts, theories. Fans were done being loyal to a studio that couldn't even respect the stars who built its empire.
These characters have grappled with their past, and they have grappled with their destiny.
And behind the scenes, Hollywood insiders were confirming what everyone suspected. This wasn't a fluke. This was an organized, quiet exodus. Writers were walking, directors were slipping away, producers were saying no thanks to the next Marvel pitch. Even actors from Disney's so-called future phases were backing out. Disney scrambled, emergency meetings, panic calls, retention bonuses thrown like confetti. But the damage was already done. The door didn't just close, it slammed shut. Because this wasn't just about 3 actors stepping away from a franchise. This was about taking the power back, about creators reclaiming their voices, their work, their worth. The Avengers didn't just walk out of the Mouse House, they burned the blueprint on the way out. And in its place, they're building something new, something without silence clauses and fake smiles, something built on freedom. This rebellion? Oh, it's nowhere near over. It's just getting warmed up. And if you thought this was the finale, nope. This was just the trailer. Like this video and subscribe to the channel for more hot tea on Disney's disastrous downfall. Because trust me, it's only getting messier from here.